would have thought that skill sets that I can add to my resume will be cameraman. So with the stage 4 restrictions we've currently got on site in Victoria at the moment, it's made for really difficult times and we've needed to adjust how we operate on site to suit the new restrictions of 5 people at any given time. Now, as a result, today you're going to see me walking around with the camera and showing you a little bit about what's going on in the project. So where we're at, it has been a bit of a hard slog, but the good thing is we have still been able to work. So I've got to be thankful for that and get some perspective in that regard. Now, as you can see around at the moment, we've got a lot of the plaster is pretty much 95% complete and the painters have gone through. Behind me here, you've got the stairs, the stencil for the stairs. Now this space specifically is going to look absolutely fantastic. Now I'm not sure if you can really grasp what's going on behind us, but you're pretty much going to have a whole stair void where you're going to have this massive glass window opening up into the job. So as you can see around me, we finally got plaster up. The boys are about 90% through completing all the plaster work. There's still a few bulkheads that we need to build. There's a couple of walls that we need to sheet, stop and sand. But the majority of the work is now complete. And once your plaster goes up, your house really starts to take shape. And the clients love it because they can come in and actually sit in the room and go, okay, well, I really understand how this is coming together. Because when it's just your frame, you're seeing through the walls, you can't really get a feel for how this room is going to feel. This particular room in here is the theatre room of the house. We do have sound stop plaster on the walls, ceiling, and then to the underside of the floor as well to stop sound penetrating through, obviously, when people are using it. And then in the rest of the house, we've got 13mm plaster walls and ceiling. So a lot of work still needs to happen to get to completion, but it is tracking along really well. The other thing is the services guys are also going through, particularly the air conditioning contractor to do just measuring grills and all that sort of stuff that's going to go in the rooms. We've got our sparkies coming through and poking holes through the walls to pull out all their cables and just making sure that everything's there. So really exciting time for the project and a great milestone. One of the most important elements of this build to our clients is the joinery. Considering its value is roughly 10% of the whole contract, you can rest assured that it's highly specified and using the very best materials. Today we're out at FKI Interiors. We're going to meet with Mark, the director, to go through the process about how we engage them, the manufacturing and delivery on site. So follow me and we'll go and have a chat with Mark. So the process we use when we're engaging a contractor for any project is we'll send out the drawings to them, write a comprehensive scope of works, then obtain the pricing. Once we've obtained the pricing, we then do our own in-house review, select which contractor we want to use for that job, and then work with them to get it where it needs to be. In this instance, for this project, we've gone with FKI Interiors. We believe that they were the best suited for this job given the complex nature and also the detail required. And I'm here with Mark now to walk you through that process about how we get the joinery from concept to physically on site.
Well, thanks for having me. What we would do is once you send us the plans and details, specifications of all the joinery that we would need, that sometimes is a process that can take time because just for example, if you've got a fussy client that doesn't know what they want or they're indecisive, probably not fussy is the word, probably indecisive.
Which we don't have on this job at all. Like there's been zero changes.
Not on this one. But it is a decision that the customer needs to make long term. So we understand that there might be a little bit of indecisiveness when choosing colours and designs. So that's a stage that we take a lot of time with.
Definitely important to get it right off the bat because it just affects the flow of the project.
Exactly. So yeah, what we'll start with is we go over to a drawing, we draw it ourselves. That drawing can be altered a few times. It's not something we expect to get right the first time because customers need to sign that off. So
that's right, and it's very important. So once you get your initial shop drawing done, we would then sit down with the architect, with the client and go through that whole process, whether with yourself, with our own team in-house as well, go through that process, make sure everyone is happy with what's been designed because ultimately what's on that drawing is what's going to get built, it's going to get put into production, it's then going to get delivered to site. So it's a critical point, and I think that's for us that was key in getting you guys on board because I felt that it really helped us deliver what they want. Their vision needed to come to life through that process, so it's critical to the job.
Yeah.
So once all the shop drawings have been approved, we now get into the manufacturing process. The first stage is cutting all the sheets to the size that they need to be so we can put everything together. So we're down at Mark's secondary factory where they do all this, and you can show us a bit of the process.
So behind us is a 3.6 by 1.8 flatbed. It's the machine. What that does, it cuts up our board for the jobs and it gets it ready for our third stage, which is knocking up.
Yeah.
So this machine works at averaging of 7 minutes per sheet. So
Wow.
it cuts our finger grooving, does all the drilling, makes it very easy for our boys to knock it up. So
Yeah.
in a nice way of saying, it makes it idiot proof.
Yeah. So is it really, like as far as its accuracy, is that an advantage to having a machine like this?
100%.
Yeah.
And put it this way, this machine doesn't lie.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this world, time is money as well. So the fact that you're doing a 7-minute sheet as opposed to an hour sheet on site, in your factory, is just a massive advantage to you. It's well worth the investment in having a machine like that.
So the third stage of the whole process is actually putting the carcasses together, and we're at Mark's factory now, and we'll walk you through that process.
Yeah. So the third stage of this process is that we get all the material back into this factory. We put all the cabinetry together, and this is where we see how it's going to look on site. So we've got an on-site foreman. What he will do at this stage is he will go back on site, check, measure the job, make sure that everything is working accordingly to the plans.
Yep.
If there's anything that's happened on site, for example, a plumber might put a pipe in, or just something that could change.
As it always does.
As it always does, that we can make that quick change here now and make it nice and easy for the guys to fit.
Yeah, very good.
As for an example, this is a road that we're doing on Alma Street right now. There's a lot of components to this job. So we've got your white carcasses, you've got your 2-pack paint, which is a cabinet that's going inside here with glass drawer fronts. And then there's a section here that we don't normally do much of, but which I'm really looking forward to see. Is going to be out of vinyl wrap, which is being upholstered by our guys down the street here.
Fantastic.
Which do a fantastic job. So.
Yeah, and that was really critical for us. We didn't want to have to go out to another contractor to do that upholstery. We wanted to go one-stop shop for everything. And that includes a lot of the glazing and mirrors and all that sort of stuff. It was really important for Mark to handle that in-house, because if we then have to go to a third party or fourth party to do each element, it just makes it more difficult to manage and increases the risk for something to go wrong. So the fact that Mark's managing this whole process for us in-house is a massive advantage for the job.
Guys, I hope you enjoy that whole process and seeing how the joinery goes from concept, manufacture, and then installation on site. Mark, thank you for your time and showing us through that whole process. Mate, I even learned something today, so it was awesome to see your machinery in action as well. So really appreciate you taking the time to show us through.
No problem. Looking forward to future projects. And,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, be sure to follow FKI Interiors now. They have rebranded, so check them out on the social pages. Be sure to like and follow their stuff, and you'll be definitely seeing our work on their pages for the years to come. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, George.